Welcome to Liverpool fans. Today we've got the latest updates of your beloved club Liverpool. But before we dive in, make sure to subscribe so you never miss a moment of breaking news. Let's get started. Marc, Guéhi and Wharton. Liverpool's January reinvention. The January air over Merseyside was sharp, heavy with clouds, and tinged with the buzz of expectation that only a winter transfer window could create. Liverpool, under increasing scrutiny and pressure to evolve into a new era, had spent weeks listening, observing, calculating. When the window finally opened, they made two moves that sent a shockwave through the Premier League. The signing of Marc Guéhi and Wharton in a double transfer package that signalled ambition, clarity, and the beginning of a rebuilt identity. It all began at dawn on the second day of the window. Outside the AXA training centre, journalists huddled in the cold, cameras ready, whispers loud enough to create their own headlines. Then the moment arrived. A black club car slowed at the gate, and the door opened to reveal a calm, focused figure. Marc Guéhi. His presence alone shifted the mood. Here was one of England's most reliable defenders, a leader at Crystal Palace, now stepping into a club that demanded more than talent. It demanded character, courage, and mentality. Guéhi walked through the entrance with the steady, composed stride of someone who knew exactly why he had chosen Liverpool. The corridors were lined with the photos of legends, captains, champions, icons who had shaped Anfield's history. He paused briefly at the image of a defensive leader holding a European trophy aloft. It wasn't just admiration, it was a promise to himself. He had come to Liverpool to write his own chapter. Inside, he went through routine medical examinations, movement tests, scanning, agility assessments, coordination checks. Everything came clean. By mid-morning, he was sitting with the technical staff, reviewing the plans Arne Slot had drawn for him. The manager didn't waste words. "Marc, I want a defender who plays with command," Slot said. "Not just someone who stops threats, but someone who builds play, sets tempo from the back, and leads with conviction. That is why you're here." Guéhi nodded, absorbing every sentence. He wasn't just joining a team, he was joining a project, one that demanded responsibility. He had worn the captain's armband at Palace. Now he was stepping into a bigger storm, a deeper ocean, but he felt ready. By afternoon, Liverpool's official announcement hit the internet. Fans erupted with excitement, videos, compilations, chants, breakdowns of how he would fit into the system. Many supporters had long admired Guéhi's reading of the game, his calmness under pressure, his discipline. Now he belonged to them, but the shock was far from over. The same evening, reporters still lingering outside AXA received a message that flipped the city into full fever. Wharton was heading to Liverpool for a medical. In just hours, Liverpool were pulling off a double signing that felt like the launch of a new era. Wharton, the prodigy from Blackburn, had become one of England's most elegant midfielders. His awareness of space, his precision, his ability to resist pressure, it was all there, packed inside a young player whose maturity exceeded his age. He arrived at the AXA Centre smiling, though visibly nervous. It was natural. He was about to join one of Europe's heavyweight clubs. Inside, Slot met him with a handshake and a grin. "You play like someone who's already lived 10 seasons at the top," Slot told him. "Your composure, your intelligence, those are rare. I want you to be part of the future of our midfield." Wharton's eyes widened with pride. Slot's words were exactly what he needed to hear. The days that followed were a whirlwind. 2 new signings, 2 new identities, and 2 new tactical pieces to unlock a different Liverpool. The city buzzed with debates. Analysts on radio stations dissected how the pair could transform the spine of the team. The headlines read, "Liverpool start a new era," "Guéhi and Wharton usher in the next generation," and "Slot builds from the core." Training begins, a shift in atmosphere. 2 mornings after both deals were completed, the first joint training session began. Rain drizzled lightly over the immaculate pitch as the players warmed up. Slot and his assistants observed closely, analysing how the newcomers adapted to the intensity, the rhythm, and the chemistry of the squad. Guéhi quickly asserted himself during defensive drills. His voice cut through the cold air, sharp instructions, quick adjustments, reminders about positioning. He didn't hesitate to reorganize the defensive line, even though he was the newest face. His timing in tackles was impeccable, his anticipation clean, and his distribution from the back beautifully measured. Every pass seemed calculated to build play with purpose. Teammates respected him instantly. They could tell he wasn't here to blend in. He was here to take responsibility, to elevate the defensive unit, to bring leadership. On the other side of the pitch, Wharton glided through midfield drills like he had been at the club for years. Slot's training is designed to challenge midfielders. Rapid rotations, high-intensity ball recovery tasks, and possession sequences that demand precision under pressure. Wharton excelled at all of them. During a small-sided match, he pulled off a moment that made everyone stop. Trapped between two pressing midfielders, he spun smoothly, slipped through the gap, and delivered a perfectly weighted vertical pass into the attacking zone. The coaching staff exchanged knowing smiles. The squad's experienced midfielders nodded in appreciation. Slot blew his whistle and called everyone in. "This," he said, pointing at both Guéhi and Wharton, "is what we need for where we are going. Smart football, brave football, controlled football." Players clapped, tapping the backs of the new signings with approval. City reaction, hope returns. Across Liverpool, supporters filled pubs, social feeds, radio shows, and street corners with enthusiasm. For weeks, concerns had grown about stagnation, about the need for renewal. But this double signing revived belief. Guéhi represented stability, maturity, and defensive evolution. Wharton represented elegance, intelligence, and the next midfield generation. Local newspapers dedicated entire covers to the duo. Fans purchased shirts in waves, number 4 for Guéhi, number 6 for Wharton. The club shop extended hours to handle crowds. Some supporters said the signings reminded them of the early days of Klopp's rebuild. Smart, deliberate, visionary. Behind the scenes, Slot's tactical blueprint Slot wasted no time incorporating them into his system. In video rooms, he presented detailed breakdowns. For Guéhi, progressive build-up patterns, angled pressing traps, high-line coordination mechanics, recovery channels. For Wharton, tempo-shifting responsibilities, third-man runs, positional rotations, link patterns with deeper midfielders. Slot saw them not as short-term reinforcements, but as foundational pillars. "This team must evolve," he told them in a private meeting. "You are part of the evolution." Both players listened intently, understanding the magnitude of the trust placed in them. Bonding and integration. Guéhi quickly built chemistry with the defensive group during gym sessions, joking but staying disciplined. Wharton adapted just as smoothly, sharing laughs with teammates, exploring the AXA Centre cafeteria, and absorbing advice from senior players. They spent evenings studying match footage alone, taking notes on the tactical expectations Slot demanded. Their professionalism impressed everyone. The Anfield arrival. A week after signing, the club held a formal unveiling inside Anfield. Thousands of supporters gathered despite the cold. When Guéhi stepped onto the pitch in his Liverpool jacket, a roar erupted. When Wharton followed, the noise grew even louder. The pair held up their shirts together, the stadium lights reflecting off the red fabric. Cameras flashed. Applause thundered. It felt symbolic. A defender for stability and a midfielder for creativity. Two arrivals that embodied balance. Two arrivals that suggested the beginning of something greater. A new promise. As they walked back down the tunnel, Guéhi turned to Wharton and said quietly, "We're part of something big here." Wharton nodded. "Let's earn it every day." Their journey was only beginning, but Liverpool could already feel the shift. A new backbone had arrived, a new identity taking shape. The January window had done more than bring new players. It had revived belief, strengthened foundations, and announced Liverpool's intent to rise again, stronger and sharper.